On average, in Australia, one woman is murdered every 9 days by a partner or former partner. When it's reported, our frontline services are working hard to respond. In 2018-19, almost 48,000 family and domestic violence incidents were triaged by family and domestic violence response teams in this state. These teams are made up of representatives from the police force, child protection and women's family and domestic violence services. Worryingly, children were present in over 49% of these incidents. Community understanding of violence against women is improving. What is concerning is that a substantial minority mistrust women's reports of violence. So friends, today is about making a clear statement that family and domestic violence is everyone's business. When something is serious, sometimes we stay silent. We are seeing this view challenged again and again in areas such as child safety, mental health and suicide prevention. And so it should be for women's safety as well. We must call out the views and attitudes that allow violence against women to happen, that allow family and domestic violence to happen, that ends with the deaths of mothers, daughters, girlfriends and work colleagues.
As well as my work with the Centre for Response-Based Practice, I'm involved in research on all levels to address violence, including domestic violence, violence in families, violence against women. So our work is grounded in a number of principles that I'm sure would resonate with you today. And one is the maintenance and preservation of human dignity. Because for people who experience violence and a lack of safety, one of the things that they talk about is feeling humiliated and feeling degraded. So part of our work is to help people restore their sense of dignity, that understanding that it's not my fault. I don't perpetuate violence. I was harmed by someone else. So another aspect of our work is to understand that whenever people are mistreated in some way, they always resist. And their resistance may not stop the violence, because often when we're being harmed, that person is bigger or stronger or has weapons. But what resistance does, it serves to preserve our dignity, which is very important. It's connected to our sense of self, our sense of self-worth, our spirit, everything that makes us who we are. So sometimes people will die for dignity just to get in that last word, to be able to speak their truth and say what's going on for them.
I came as an international student, fresh from Bradley High School in Zimbabwe, at 18 years of age, in July 2004, with the intention of completing a Bachelor in Accounting degree. On the 25th of December 2004, I met a very outgoing, outspoken, adventurous, handsome young man. Then, he was everything I was not. Loud, bold, and humorous, and that's what drew me to him. After a year of studying, I lost my student visa. My boyfriend then saved the day and sponsored me on a spouse visa. What could have been a life-saving moment, living in a country of milk and honey as many would think, turned out to be a vacation on hell. I called the police numerous times, every time I was beaten, with only a few seconds window to speak each time as the phone would get thrown into the wall. Enough was enough. I decided to be the nice girl and say thank you for all you have done, but I was leaving you. Little did I know that is the most dangerous time for a woman to live an abusive relationship. So before he left for work, I said I was leaving. That afternoon, he beat me. That would have been also the first day I bled. And because I panicked that I was going to die, I managed to escape to the neighbor's house after dialing 000 and only saying a few words before he threw the phone into the wall and said, "You have called the police on me. When they come to arrest me, you will be dead." Minutes later, I heard sirens and went out to speak to the police. That was my first time to stay and wait for the police in the 3.5 years I had called 000. Staying silent was learned behavior. Growing up in Kuwadzana, Harare in Zimbabwe, I had witnessed violence and abuse growing up and never saw or heard of anyone being reported to police. If anything, I heard more of she or he deserved it because she or he has done this or that, so it was accepted. As Dolly Everett said, "Speak even if your voice shakes." I live by this motto nowadays.